Well, hello everybody. I hope you're having a blessed and beautiful day today. So I have an article that I want to read for you today that's just coming out of Now the End Begins. And you know what's happening over in Israel with the pass and no entry without having the pass? Well, it looks like it may be starting here as well. This says Microsoft and Bill Gates working with Los Angeles Public Schools to create a, QR code daily pass for children that scans to allow them access. Daily Pass generates a unique QR code for each student and staff member, and that code authorizes entry to a specific location for that day only, as long as the individual receives a negative test result for, shows no symptoms and has a temperature under 100 degrees. The district said NBC Los Angeles outlined. Upon the individual's arrival to a campus, their QR code is scanned by a district school site leader who takes the individual's temperature. There is also a section on the Daily Pass portal that seeks to get students and staffers jabbed. I was trying to think of the word. Jabbed. From most at risk to least at risk. You can schedule your child's jab via the portal. So if you don't have it, you can schedule here because you can't enter without it. It was only 5 weeks ago that Bill Gates was whining about the fact that most of the civilized world views him as evil, someone who is planning to use eugenics to depopulate the world. Gates described baseless conspiracy theories as being behind the reason why so many people think he is an end times villain. Today we read that Microsoft is right now creating something called Daily Pass that will assign a digital QR code to all students in Los Angeles Unified School District and deny them access to school if they do not comply with the checklist. I hope your eyes are open wide enough to see that this is never ever going to go away, that jab, passports, and all the rest of the junk that goes with it are absolutely 100% here to stay regardless of what the virus does. They are creating the mark of the beast system right in front of your very eyes, and instead of pushing back and refusing, the overwhelming vast majority of the global population is going right along with it. There's a video at the bottom of the article to see how terrifying the new Daily Pass really is. I'm going to watch that, and if it's anything, I'll post it, or I'll just put the link down below so you can see it. Everything, I probably do that because they're going to probably say some things in there that will get my video taken down. So I'll share the link and you can go and watch it for yourself. Everything we have ever told you about the end times is all happening right now and at a rate of speed so fast we can't even catalog it all. I hope you're ready for the rapture because it's right around the corner. Dystopian nightmare. Microsoft and Bill Gates team up with school to create, Daily Pass for kids. It's kind of a repeat of what he said earlier. Okay, the system requires children to be scanned into school with their own QR code, their Daily Pass. If a student doesn't have their barcode, they cannot get into school. And per the district, students will also still be wearing masks, staying 6 feet apart from one another, and getting temperature checks outside of the school. There are nearly 500,000 students in Los Angeles, ranging from kindergarten to 12th grade. To earn their Safe for School Daily Pass, students and staffers must answer questions online and test negative for the virus every week. So they have to test every single week. Those poor kids. Daily Pass generates a unique QR code for each student and staff member, and that code authorizes entry to a specific location for that day only. As long as the individual receives a negative test result, shows no symptoms, and has a temperature under 100 degrees, the district said, we already read that. There's also a section on the Daily Pass portal that seeks to get students and staffers jabbed from most at risk to least at risk. You can schedule your child's vaccination. I said it. Hopefully this doesn't I do that every time. Anyways, hopefully this doesn't get taken down via the portal. Anonymous data from DailyPass will be used by the Los Angeles Unified Research and Healthcare collaborators at Stanford, UCLA, Johns Hopkins University, Blue Cross, HealthNet, and Cedars-Sinai to provide insight for strategies to create a safest possible school environment. Schools have not been shown to significantly spread this virus, and some studies have found children are not a significant risk of contracting this disease. So now it's a disease. It was a virus, now it's a disease. They have no idea what they're even talking about. Still, the promotional video for this DailyPass paints a different picture. A scared child is only put at ease when she fills out her DailyPass information, gets her unique barcode, stays 6 feet away from her peers, and is scanned into school. Mom, I'm scared about going back to school, the child says in the video. I don't want to get sick, and I don't want to get you and Dad sick. After she's scanned into school, the girl tells her father, Dad, I have to admit, I was scared at first, but then I felt so safe. It was so good to be back. Thank you for keeping me safe. Sounds like a brainwashing session. Last July, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, Director Robert Redfield advocated the return of students to school, highlighting the low risk for children without pre-existing conditions and the unfortunate spike in suicides and drug overdoses as schools remained closed. It's not a risk of school openings versus public health. It's public health versus public health, asserted Redfield. I'm of the point of view, and I weigh that equation as an individual that has 11 ground children, and the greater risk is actually to the nation to keep these schools closed, he added. Still, schools across the country remain shut out from in-person learning. Microsoft was founded by Bill Gates, who became a media favorite as he weighs in on the things related to this virus, from masks to jabs to the virus relief. The left-wing climate activist and philanthropist stepped down from Microsoft's board in March of last year, but he still remains one of the largest shareholders in the company, with roughly 13% of the company's shares, which estimates at $16 billion. So he's got a lot to lose. According to the statement released by the billionaire last March, Gates intended to remain active in the company and would work closely with Nadella, Microsoft's chief executive. Okay, that one's not. Okay, let's see here. Wow. With all of that, this is just crazy. Because we see, like I said, we see what's going on in Israel. If you don't have this green pass, then you have no entry. And it's starting to happen here with the schools and the kids. And, even though your kids are going to be going back to school with this thing, they are not going to be able to interact with their friends anyways. They're not going to be able to play like normal kids. They're not going to be able to even go out to recess and play like normal kids do on the playground. They have this pass that's only for one section and one section only for the day. They have to be subjected to these tests every single week. Every week, these poor kids. Hi, Coconut. They have to have a negative test every single week. And then the video, the little kid in the video, it just sounds like I don't know what I'm thinking. It's kind of like one of those Left Behind movies that you see where I'm not saying this, but just what I'm trying to get at is where like the Left Behind movies where the people come on and try to persuade the people to get their mark because it's good for the global economy, or like it's good for the system, and they try to hype it up like, oh, this is so good. And it kind of reminds me of that, where like, Daddy, thank you so much. And they're using children as a propaganda tool to guilt people into subjecting themselves to this. And, we know that, this isn't going to keep going on forever, okay? I read today that Texas is going to start opening up completely. So it's going to be like everything's back to normal. But I almost feel like it's a false sense of security because they're going to be opening. No masks are allowed, or you don't have to wear a mask. Everything's going completely back to normal. I think it said on the 10th of this month. And then, don't quote me on this, but I believe Michigan as well. I might be wrong on the state because Michigan, I think, is a liberal state. I don't know. I could be wrong on my state, but there is another state that is reopening tomorrow with no masks and all of that. And so it's almost like it's a false sense of security where, they're going to start to do this, but with something, like you have to do something because, and I found that kind of odd because yesterday there was a video and I posted it on my Facebook page where the governor of Texas, he's sending National Guard door to door to give the jab. But then 2 days later, he's saying, oh, we're going to open our state. And it doesn't make any sense. It's almost like don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain, And now we have California doing something like this with schools, and they're subjecting our kids to this. And people, they just don't question anything. They just go right along with it. And this is how, I don't want to be derogatory, but this is how brainless people can be sometimes. I saw this video, this guy, he was doing an experiment to just see how people are so conditioned to this now, and people have become so blind to what's going on that he stood outside the store, like he worked in the store or whatever, and he had a lint roller, and anybody that walked to go into the store, he would tell them, to put their arms out, and he would kind of roll them or whatever. It was a lint roller, and people just complied with it. Just, they don't ask questions. They don't realize that he's got a lint roller. They're just so conditioned, and they're like zombies, like, robots. They just do what they're told when they're told to do it, and they put their head down, don't say a word, don't talk unless spoken to, and just continue on. And sadly, that's a lot of the same temperament that's going to happen after the rapture when the Antichrist appears. There's going to be so many people that just go right along with it. And we can see now with people that are refusing to get the jab, like myself, I refuse to get it, and I will not get it. My kids will not get it. I will not get it. You can put me in jail. You can kill me. I don't care. I'm ready to see Jesus. I don't care. Kill me. It's, and I'll get there faster. But, people, they hate you, and the evil of man's heart is being exposed. And even people that are Christians, believers, I don't want to say the word Christian because it's such a broad word. I want to say born again believers because people who are saved really know what that means. Born again believers that are, just attacking people for not wanting to get it, or you don't believe in science. Well, I'm sorry, but God is the God of science. He's the one that created everything, not man. Man tried to go off on their own and try to create their own science, and it ends up being, against God. So anyways, guys, I didn't want to make the video too long. I saw that and I wanted to share that with you guys, and just, to see, that it's starting here. It's starting to happen. It's going to start going global. It already is pretty much. Things are going cashless, and, now we've got this going on where no entry unless you have this, and it's going to start happening here. And, it's almost like how much longer, or, how much longer do we have? I pray we don't have very much longer, but, we just have to look up, know the signs, know the seasons, and, watch Israel. I have something I may post tomorrow, depending on what is said, but I subscribe to the Temple Institute on my Facebook page, And today they mentioned something about the red heifer. And they have an update that they're going to share tomorrow about the red heifer and the temple sacrifice red heifers. So if that's interesting enough, I will share it with you guys tomorrow. And for the people that were asking in my community tab about the quantum dot tattoo, I found the video that I made about that a couple months ago, and I linked that in that post, so you can share it if you want. I think if I don't, I'll add it, but I think I also have the link to where I got the information, which was Now the End Begins, and it has all of the information there and all of that, but I read it for you too, so if you wanted to share it, you could. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope that you guys have a blessed and beautiful rest of your day.